All right, so welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling Mount Everest.
Everest, yeah. It's more than just the highest peak in the world, right? It's this symbol, human ambition,
Mhm.
power of nature. And it fascinates us. It really does.
Yeah, and you've given us all these articles about it and everything, so we're kind of going beyond just the whole tallest mountain thing. Like one article said it's over 29,000 feet high, 29,031.7 to be exact, which is just, I mean, can you even imagine?
Honestly, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around until you've actually seen it for yourself. It's just the scale is something else. Now
Yeah.
get this. It's still growing. Something like 44 millimeters a year.
44 millimeters. I mean, that's wild. Slower than my kids grow, at least, but still.
It's a slow process, sure, but it's steady. Basically, the Indian tectonic plate. It's always pushing against the Eurasian plate. And that collision, that's what formed the whole Himalayas. That's why Everest is still, inching up there.
See, that's the kind of stuff I find fascinating. Or how about this? Two names for this mountain. We've been saying Mount Everest, but our sources also use Sagarmatha. What's the deal with that?
All right. So Sagarmatha, that's a Nepali name, means goddess of the sky. Tells you a lot about how the mountain is seen in their culture.
Mm.
It's sacred to them, seriously revered by the people who actually live near it. Everest, well, that came later. Named after Sir George Everest, a surveyor. And get this, not even the first person to discover the peak.
Not even the first. Wow. Like, it's really, there's this whole human element to Everest, isn't there? Like, reading about the thousands of people who've tried to reach the top, some just needing to push themselves to the limit. Heck, some people even speed climb it, right? Like, the fastest I read was get this under 8 hours.
It's like this primal instinct,
Yeah.
it's in us. This urge to explore, test ourselves, and to stand, quite literally, on top of the world. And Everest, well, it's the ultimate test. It's towering, it's challenging, it's Everest.
It's definitely awe-inspiring and a little intimidating if you ask me. I mean, let's be real, there's a whole other side to this. There's real risk. These articles we have, they don't hide from that. There's stories of the people who didn't make it.
Yeah. You got to remember, Everest doesn't mess around. You got to respect it, prepare for it, understand it's dangerous, truly dangerous,
Yeah.
which gets us to, the future of Everest.
Exactly. It's not just some like unchanging thing, right?
Yeah.
What happens with climate change and more people wanting to climb it?
That's the million-dollar question right now.
Yeah.
Everest has a delicate ecosystem. Glaciers are melting. There's pollution from gear and waste, and all these people trying to get to the top. It's this balancing act. We got to preserve it, but also people should be able to experience it. It's tricky.
Makes you think, huh? We have this responsibility to the planet even while we're kind of obsessed with these amazing places, right? Started with how tall is Everest, and now, well, we're talking about human ambition and the environment and nature.
So, since we're wrapping up, one last thing for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now, would you climb Everest?
It's a good question, isn't it? It's a reminder that there are still mysteries out there, thankfully.